up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down, they don't love you like I love you.
Beyonce has wowed the world yet again, just months after the surprise release of her single Formation. Her sixth studio album, Lemonade, was unveiled Saturday following the debut of her hour-long mini movie special on HBO, and it is making headlines today, both for the way it was released and its rare and intimate look into her marriage with Jay-Z. That's why we have called in a round table of experts at CBSN to help cover all aspects of Beyonce's huge weekend. Ashley Weatherford is New York Magazine's associate beauty editor. Lindsay Peoples, also of New York Magazine, is here, as well as Wall Street Journal editor Lee Hawkins. Thank you all for coming by.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a lot to break down. There's a lot going on in this movie. There's a lot going on with the release of this. First, let me ask you, Ashley, what struck out? What was the thing that you were just jamming on when you saw this video, this hour-long video?
Sorry, of course.
Right.
I mean, it had Serena in it. It had, Serena dancing for like almost the entire length of the song. It was amazing.
Yeah, in that black, like, sort of,
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but it was amazing.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, what about for you?
I personally really was surprised to see Jay-Z. I think everybody was like, oh, this is about their divorce. And then you see him and you're like, wait, no, you're not
kissing
divorcing.
Her feet,
yeah,
like,
he's kissing her
like,
ankles.
right,
It's like, you're not divorcing. So, yeah, I was really surprised to see that.
All right, there's also, Lee, this really interesting business dynamic to this release. The idea that she would release it on Tidal, which is the streaming company that she owns with Jay-Z and a bunch of other artists. What do you make of that? That initially it was released on Tidal, now it's apparently available on iTunes.
Well, this is Beyonce just realizing once again that traditional CD sales are over. And so she bought a piece of this company and she wants to monetize her intellectual property on this website. So what this is doing for her, in addition to the fact that Prince is releasing that music exclusively on Tidal too, is adding subscribers to that subscriber base, making sure that Tidal can be competitive over time with Spotify and with Apple Music.
Lindsay, I want to dig into the personal, what many fans think is a glimpse into the personal life of Jay-Z and Beyonce, but she is one of the most savvy media personalities out there. Do you really think that this was an opening up of her personal life?
I think that she's an entertainer, and I think that you have to remember that she can tell various stories and it not be directly related to her life. I think it's a little bit too easy to say this is all about her marriage, these things all happened to her. I find it a little strange that she would use HBO as a platform to kind of reveal her darkest secrets. I think that, some things can probably be inspired by what she's gone through, but I think that she's an entertainer at the end of the day, and we were entertained.
Yeah.
So she did what she was supposed to do.
The other thing that I found really fascinating is, well, first of all, that yellow dress that my co-anchor earlier this morning, Anne-Marie Green, I was like, man, I really like that dress. She's like, yeah, but it's not for real people.
It is. I would wear that.
You would wear that?
Yeah, we would both
tomorrow.
Wear it. Yeah. It's gorgeous.
It is absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful, and I just thought it's really cool. Anne-Marie made this little comment. She's like, well, I would look like the short Big Bird if I wore that, and people would make that comment. But I thought it was really cool. I mean, and what you were seeing, this visual, I felt like she was sort of slipping away from being a musician into like Andy Warhol territory, where it's a melding of art and pop music together.
Yeah.
I think she's always been going in that direction. She's always been a true artist, and we see more and more of it as the years go on. So she's just being Beyonce, just being a little bit more fuller.
What did you think of the use of Malcolm X during that speech that he delivered in 1962, Who Taught You to Hate Yourself? That's where that comes from. You hear the voice of Malcolm X talking about the most disrespected woman disrespected woman in the world is a black woman. What'd you make of that?
I mean, I thought it was brilliant, and I wasn't really surprised because she's used quotes from other people and poets in the past, and I think that it's just beautiful to see all these black women in the video. It's beautiful that she's taking normal women. It was cameos, obviously, of celebrities, but it was all, women in New Orleans. It was women, just on the street. And it was just beautiful to see her celebrate black women and be a part of our womanhood and our celebration. So.
Also, I thought was really striking to me, two things that were striking to me. One, seeing Winnie Harlow, who's that young girl who has vitiligo, I think it's called, where the coloration of the skin is not as it should be. And also the mothers of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown at the very end holding, that final last 10 minutes of it really had me moved.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that.
What you're seeing is Beyonce is really stepping more into the activist role, and she's connecting with her base. She's becoming a lot more sophisticated. She wasn't an outspoken figure before, and now she's starting to do that, and it's probably something that needs to happen right now because she's a leader of an entire generation of people across generations. So that's what we're seeing. It's her brand evolving.
And you know, we've been talking a lot about Prince over the last couple of days and his impact on the music industry. Here is an artist who very early on wanted control of his art. And now we're seeing, I mean, not only has Beyonce been influenced musically by Prince, but this, do you see this, Lee, as sort of a natural extension of what Prince started way back when he had that fight with Sony Music?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm sure that in private conversations with Jay-Z and Beyonce, Prince has expressed that old school adage, never let go of your publishing, and the value of this intellectual property, not only for what Prince wrote for himself, but for the hundreds of other artists who he wrote for, who he holds intellectual property in. That's wealth building stuff, right? And so he wants to do that. And I think that Beyonce, the fact that she has business in her DNA, her father was a Xerox sales executive, her parents owned one of the most successful hair salons in the city of Houston, and watching her evolve over time from Destiny's Child and seeing her father work in action. She really deserves credit. It's not just Jay-Z. Yeah. I mean, she's evolving as a businesswoman. So this is all part of that.
But at first I thought, man, are they going to release it on iTunes? And then they did. I just thought that it's just a lot to leave on the table because Tidal doesn't have enough subscribers the way that iTunes and, for example, Spotify does.
Well, she's increasing the value, and people are going to subscribe to that because if they want to hear it, they have to go to Tidal. And right now, that's a more precious commodity to her because she wants to see that company sold. And if that company is acquired one day, that gets her, as a lot of the hip-hop guys say, from the M's into the B. And when I say B's, I mean billions.
You mean, yeah, right? Billions. All right, so my favorite song on the album, it's going to be a little out there, but I like Daddy Issues because I heard Beyonce do country better than like a lot of country artists.
Everybody's like she's going to win a CMA.
Right? That's the first thing I thought. It's just a beautiful song. What about you? What was your favorite?
Well, you know, I was listening to it and I was like, what is going on? I think this is country. Yeah. But, I mean, it was great. Yeah. That's really not my jam, but you know, I like it no matter.
I just feel like whatever Beyonce does is my jam.
That's true.
Forward? Anybody who, did you say Forward? Is that your?
Freedom is my favorite
Your
song.
Freedom.
I like Sorry, but I also like Forward too.
Yeah, Forward. I thought that was really powerful. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with us. We really, really appreciate it. Ashley Weatherford, Lindsay Peoples, and Lee Hawkins, you guys are awesome. And I just want to point out to our viewers, you guys wrote this amazing article on NewYorkMagazine.com. Check it out. It's in The Cut, the blog for fashion. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.